Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faiz Farham bin Zakaria. I will explain about the selected compound of air pollution and food security in Malaysia. Air pollution is defined as a change in air quality that can be realized through measurement of chemical, biological, and physical contaminants in the air. There are primary sources of man-made air pollution, which is automobiles, gas, oil, and natural gas for space heating, manufactures bioproduct and energy generation, primarily coal-fired power plants, as well as contamination from the chemical industry. Food security is defined as all persons wanting physically, cultural, and financial accessibility to affordable, nutritional, and reliable food that match their dietary requirement and nutrient intake for a healthy and sustainable existence. So, food security implying that there is sufficient food for people to stay a healthier way of life. Okay, now I will explain about the issue of air pollution in Malaysia. The first issue of air pollution in Malaysia is global climate change. Climate change is a shift in the long-term climate model that depicts the world regions. Climate change refers to any change of climate induced directly or indirectly by human activities that alter the structure of the global environment. Global climate change is caused by increased level of greenhouse gas in the atmosphere. The second issue of air pollution in Malaysia is acid deposition. It happens when sulfuric and nitric acid containing precipitations is known as acid rains. Wet and dry depositions from the atmosphere containing higher than average concentration of acidic elements, so it can be referred to the acid rains. Acid rains precursors such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide eventually create sulfuric acid and nitric acid, which can be transported by the wind for long distance before falling as rain. As a result, soil and water further from sources of pollution will get acidified. The last issue of air pollution in Malaysia is depletion of ozone layer. The gradual thinning of the Earth's ozone layer is upper atmosphere caused by the production of chemical compounds containing gases bromine or chlorine from factories or other human activities is referred to this ozone layer depletion. So ozone also as a gas that can be found in the upper atmosphere and on the surface of the earth. Okay, now I will explain about the issue of food security in Malaysia. The first issue of food security in Malaysia is overpopulation. As the world population grows, so does the demand for food, which usually necessitates increased land and water use. If land management is bad, more individuals will be able to use farmlands for other purposes, such as building houses or commercial properties instead of farming, limiting productive capacity because the same farm area would be used over and over again. The second issue of food security in Malaysia is bribery scandals, or also known as corruption. Corruption is the misuse of delegated authority for the personal benefits. The reason and effect of the connection among poverty and corruption. For example, when the government establishes monopolies for personal advantage and profit, it adds to present market failures. Corruption causes an increase in poverty, which reduces agriculture production growth. Okay, the last issue of food security in Malaysia is global warming, also known as climate change, that has long been the primary sources of concerns for many countries. So it can affecting business such as agriculture, forestry, ecosystems, and health in a variety of ways. Climate change is expected to have an impact on food security and hunger, on how climate change affect accessibility of supply power of food pricing, and food usage. Water shortage and dry spells limits dietary diversity of food consumptions, resulting in harmful outcomes such as vitamins deficiencies. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to the first presenter that has elaborated on the introduction and issue part. Assalamualaikum to Dr. Shawar and my dear classmate. My name is Amira binti Abdul Aziz and I will be explaining more on the options for intervention of air pollution and food security in Malaysia. Under this topic, I will include the methods of solution on how to prevent these problems from getting worse. Currently, there are three options, which are action and policy intervention, preventive interventions, and educational intervention. This picture is the latest of the quality index in Malaysia. There are several possibilities as the options in order to prevent this problem from happen. The first option is regulatory action and policy intervention. This policy has been one of the important options as the legal constraints can have significant impact on action. Basically, this intervention must be carried out at a worldwide level in order to prevent any challenges in promoting the welfare of the population, and also the government has a number of mechanisms at its disposal. The rules that have been made, like the other precautionary actions which aims to ensure a safer activity within the community, are interfered at several different levels. One of the main points to changing behavior and the environment is individual action. Firstly, government measures are aimed at individual acts through education, promotion, or encouragement. The programs, for example, can advise and encourage people to make wise decisions, and police forces can prevent risk behavior by implementing criminal and civil punishment. Secondly, the regulation controls the agents of change in lifestyle by ensuring safer product development. For example, the government will fully control the products that involve the hazardous material and will go through the implementation of security procedures or indirectly through the legal system. Finally, the legislation alters information, environmental, economic or social background in order to promote healthy activities. For example, the government will identify or manufacture the instructions and they can monitor the environment in the various ways. However, the value of laws and policies to ensure the public health itself, the effectiveness of government initiative is still low. So, the government should give an immediate attention towards this matter. Other than that, the options for intervention are preventive interventions. In terms of air pollution, the environment itself needs improvements by aiming to curb the spread of disease, and it is an important matter as to prevent of many illness. Furthermore, the other environmental change is to address the air pollution which can occur both indoors and outdoors. It also covers the disposal of pollutants like dangerous substances and chemicals. It is also linked to nutritional interventions for the food security issue. Nutrition and diet are essential variables in human health and illness. Unfortunately, the insufficient nutrition remains as a main factor of the disease in low-income countries and poor populations in middle-income countries. For example, extreme malnutrition such as kwashiorkor can lead to death, but it is the milder forms of malnutrition that have the most impact on the result of brain development. As you can see in the picture, this is why the educational intervention are very important as the intervention options. Some of the disease prevention strategies such as the programs are focused on changing social behavior. Therefore, almost all campaigns must have an educational component in order to be deployed effectively, although the number of courses required varies from giving basic information. These programs will raise awareness of the need in changing people's lifestyle. Education is very important for raising awareness and introducing extra knowledge, but the individuals itself must also have the desire, motivation, and willingness to act on the information and apply the approach. I think that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter to explain more on the air pollution and food security in Malaysia. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Shubrato Ain binti Mazli and I am from class AM2266B. So today I would like to present on the summarize on the diagram of environmental health pathway on air pollution in Malaysia. There are three major issues that can cause air pollution in Malaysia, which are global climate change, acid deposition and depletion of ozone layer. By utilizing certain technology choices that minimize the local air pollution such as particle emission, one may simultaneously reduce carbon dioxide emission and so contribute to the reduction of global climate change. In contrast, some long-term climate change solutions concurrently enhance air quality in the near run. When fossil fuels like oil and coal are burned, pollutant gases like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are emitted into the environment. In general, laws enacted by the national government have the broadest application, which might help to reduce border and economic competition difficulties. The Clean Air Forum Society of Malaysia is a national non-governmental organization tasked with resolving globe, contribute significantly to the promotion of improved air quality through their broad experience and advice, expertise and capacity, information and knowledge exchange, research and publishing, dialogue promotion and support for improved air quality and a healthier livable country. And it is also aims to lead the national efforts to improve the air quality. Next is for the summarize on the diagram of environmental health pathway on food security in Malaysia. So, food security is defined as having limited or insufficient access to food owing to budgetary restriction. It is a term that is directly related to household income in that the lower to the household income, the greater the danger of food insecurity. The prevalence of food insecurity varies greatly among provinces and regions. However, urbanization, wealth disparity, overcrowding, ecological degradation, animal health, and food wholesomeness all pose a danger to food security. Overpopulation also has been recognized as a global environmental concern for several decades, since it has resulted in a variety of negative environmental repercussions. The growth of this inverted pyramid population structure is mostly due to modern medical services and illiteracy in certain emerging nations' interior areas. Corruption is so in whatever form it takes worsen the already widening divide between rich and poor in many of the nations represented at this conference. The result is that effort to preserve food security from climate change must extend beyond agriculture and rural population. This effort must also address livelihoods and health as well as the specific vulnerabilities of urban regions. For the upstream, in developing nations, food security technologies include land preparation, soil and water management, seed production, weed management, pest and disease control, farm management, harvesting and post-harvest techniques such as storage, processing, packaging, marketing and distribution. For the downstream, everyone at Urban Hijau starts with excellent soil. This is crucial in our tropical environment owing to nutrient loss from frequent rains throughout the year. As a result, participants see various composting methods such as the compost station, the worm farm and the black soldier fly farm, and they periodically offer food to the chicken and fish. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Dr. Shawal. I am Muhammad Rizwan Birifin and today I will explain regarding the upstream and downstream intervention of air pollution and food security in Malaysia. Generally, the upstream of air pollution are the law that has been enacted, which is the National Air Quality Standard and Regulation 7 that aim to address air quality issue in Southeast Asia. The Malaysia Department of Environment is in charge of developing and executing sophisticated air pollution control strategy at the national level. For example, exhaust emission ceiling for automobile and industry are defined in conjunction with the compliance authority. They are also working to improve the quality of the fuel, as this is the most effective method that meet the existing exhaust emission standard for new automobile, while also reducing emission from older vehicle. Next, I will continue with the upstream intervention on food security in Malaysia. As we can see, the Malaysia government is aware that the use of technology is very important in modernizing the food agriculture sector. Following Malaysia independence from the British, the government began to invest in technology development and innovation. The Department of Agriculture (DOA) finished the research and development (R&D) after the country gained independence. For example, as we can see, the use of technology that involve over time for the production of results that are fast and balanced with demand. On the other hand, I will now also explain regarding the downstream intervention on air pollution and food security in Malaysia. In Malaysia, NGO are involved directly in the downstream intervention. However, the involvement of NGO is critical in resolving issues such as air pollution in Malaysia. NGO play a variety of support and social responsibilities, such as bringing citizen concern to government, encourage and controlling policy, and promoting political participation through information exchange. There are many NGOs that help the government in addressing this problem, such as Environment Protection Society Malaysia, Global Environment Center, Clean Air Forum Society of Malaysia, and other NGO. The Malaysia Clean Air Forum Society, also known as MICAS, is a non-governmental national group that deal with air pollution. For example, MICAS has organized the Forum for the Low Carbon Economy, which is also known as the World Clean Air Congress. As in the downstream intervention on food security, NGO also have respond to food security issue by adopting increasingly right-based and participatory approach. There are also various volunteer incentives in Malaysia where we can put our skill to good use as volunteer. Urban Hijau is one of the example of Malaysia NGO that is concerned with food security. Urban Hijau is dedicated to promoting Malaysia transition to sustainable city through permaculture, as in natural ecological design, principle in agricultural production, waste management, and public life. For example, the aquaponic system at Urban Hijau is being updated, and they have set up an 800 square foot aquaponic system at US. That's all from our group. Thank you.